Grateful for this opportunity to, first of all, thank Kenyans and Africa at large for the support and the love shown to me while I was in the Big Brother Africa house. It means a lot coming out and finding out that Ghana was behind you 100% and they were pushing for you. And actually disappointed that you didn't win the money back home, but it's good. It's all good. Mr. Cecil, I heard you were watching and you were pushing for me. I appreciate it a lot. And I'm very grateful. And Mr. Ansaki and Mr. Edel, thank you. So I'm going to go straight ahead to me being in the house. It was 91 days of basically going back to basics. Now, there were no phones whatsoever. No communication with the outside world, and hey, it wasn't easy, but we tried, we managed it, and it was a great experience. Big Brother Africa is a great experience. It's a platform that teaches tolerance and teaches you how to stay with people, relate to them. So all in all, I've learned a lot being in Big Brother house. I appreciate the opportunity from audition stage to day 91, and I wanted to bring the money back. It didn't happen. So once again, thank you Ghana, thank you Africa, thank you fans for voting. I appreciate it a lot. And when you see me, I'll take picture just to pay back because I can't give you money for the votes. So thank you Ms. Ansaki, thank you Mr. Cecil, and thank you Mr. Donald. That's all I have to say for now. I'm sure the rest will come when we start asking questions. I heard that's how it goes, questions and answers. So I will just answer the rest as the questions come. Thank you. Elikem Kumordzi is a brand on itself. I'm a whole brand. Before I went into the Big Brother Africa house, I had two sections of Elikem Kumordzi in the sense of Elikem Kumordzi, the tailor, being my fashion brand that I created before going to the house, and my acting career. Having a first degree in a combined major in psychology and drama from the University of Ghana, I chose to pursue a career in acting. Now, the tailoring came to me as a talent, so that is my day job. And so the brand that Elikem Kumordzi the tailor was set up and was doing quite well before going into the house. And as some of you would know, I got 2 movie covers with Venus Films Production and Raj Films. Shot a couple of other movies, about 5 movies or so, did a couple of commercials in it, So the way forward now is basically pushing those 2 aspects of the brand, which is myself. The tailoring goes hand in hand with the acting career. So I don't know, it's already blasting. My brother Troy, he's managing me with Michael, doing a good job already. Whilst I was in the house, they were pushing for me hard, and I've got a couple of gigs already. I'm going back to SA for a fashion exhibition. I already got 2 scripts landed in Ghana 2 nights ago with lead roles, and it can only get better. I keep getting calls, and I appreciate the love so much. I didn't know it was going to be this hyped. I'm just overwhelmed. So Elikem Kumordzi the tailor and Elikem Kumordzi as an actor, both brands, I'll be happy to say that it's already or has already seen the light. We are just left to step into it. So yeah, if that answers your question, boss. Thank you. All right. This is because I'm an individual who takes each day as it comes, one by one, and I live it to the fullest. So going into the Big Brother house for me was just about the experience, meeting people, wilding out, doing tasks, jumping around, and maybe I'll meet some nice girl, something. So I was just going to basically chill and enjoy the whole atmosphere. Now, moving moving on to Melvin being evicted. Melvin, to me, it was just up to us two guys in the house, and so it was automatically sort of my competition being in the house in the final week. And so him walking out just makes sense. I kind of foresaw, if that's the word, foresaw him in the top three. But Beverly was called out first, and then Melvin walked out, and I was like, wow, I'm winning the money. But for a second, again, I looked at Delicious Between and I was like, And I said to them, I think it's going to be a girl this time. And then Ike walked into the house and took me out with him. So, it was an on and off feeling. The whole week I was feeling like everyone deserves to win the money still, because I'm not better off. I'm not less better of a person or more better paid. My English is mixing. But I'm sure you know what I mean. So and then moving on to Delish, I think she does deserve the money. Delish, I got the opportunity to bond with her. She's a nice person. She has a clean heart, not sort of, because I spoke to her. She was one of the few people who actually genuinely liked me in the house. I think you guys watched that film. So I feel like she deserves the money, yes, because for the reasons why she wanted to win the money sounds good. If those are the reasons she's going to, if those the thing she stated is what she's going to use the money for, then it's a good look. And each and every one of us had plans for the money, so in a way it's going to help a good cause one way or the other. So yes, I thought I was going to win at a certain particular juncture when Melvin walked out, and Delish does deserve the money. Apart from me. So thank you very much. I walked into the Big Brother house. First week back, my name came up for eviction. I was shaking. I was wondering what I did wrong though, but hey, I just started giving my clothes out. I was like, yo, I'm done here, maybe I just came to South Africa, I was in D-line after, share my clothes and come back home. But then I was saved by Feza, and it felt like, okay, cool down a little bit, because I get that thing, when I walk into a certain place, I don't know if it's because I'm tall and black, and I try to dress, people look at me like, hey, this boy. And maybe in that situation, it was bad for the rest of the players because they thought I was competition. I haven't gone back to the videos to see the reasons why they nominated me that first week, but then I sort of come off as annoying also. And that is intentional because I think the reality of life is you can't love everyone. There are people who you get along with totally, and there are people who, will be your best of friends. And no matter what you do, you still have haters. So I took it cool. And I got a break for a week or two. And the second week, I ran to the Ruby house because someone was going to be head of house the next week. And I knew there was no way she was going to stop me. So I tried to play around it a little bit to, stay a week or two longer. And it got to a point where I started getting close to Kello and we became a target. And I kept coming up back to back, like for I think 6 times in a row. And it got to a point in between this time where I came out of the diary room before anyone else went in, and I was like, tell you guys, go and do what you do best, man. Nominate me. I got tired because, it wasn't, I just realized that I am doing me and I still keep getting nominated. And there are 2 parts to the game. You can either nominate someone for a certain reason that is like, say I don't like him or I don't get along with him, or another reason which is probably competition. So I just started to say people probably don't like me, yes or no, and I am competition to the rest. And I got saved by head of houses. I saved myself 3 times. That was the reason why I was trying to push the head of houses, because that's the only way you can guarantee a election the next week and another week before you get nominated again. So no hard feelings, man. The people who kept nominating me, where did they get to? He went home, and I like it is nice. So everything does happen for a reason. I mean, then towards the end of the game, I appreciated myself for sticking to who I was and my principles and not trying to adjust to try to suit anyone so not to get nominated. And I was a good feeling. It's best to be yourself. Now, moving on to what's the last question? Nando, the Nando issue. Hey, that boy. Nando wanted to stab me. I don't know, since that house, from day one, we didn't get too along because I walked into the house and him and Bimp were doing some racial on regular Sunday. So I'm like, why do you speak like that? And he said, that's just the way I speak from America. And Bimp said, oh, I went to international school back in Ethiopia, and I was like, so you never been to the States? He said no, and I was like, so what are you talking about? So I think they took it personal. They thought I was trying to bash them on the show. There's been instances where people go with accents and people say they're being fake or whatever. So I think they took it personal since that day. We never really got along. So Nando just took that to heart, and he was just waiting for the right opportunity to blast me. Now, I was doing my very own Azonto dance and boy in front of the camera at the arena earlier on that day. So Nando walks up to me, and it's the alcohol issue. Well, after everything happened, then he started going on about which, with the N-word, which guy shakes his ass in front of the camera, and real men are the only ones who wear my beanie. I didn't even know that beanie was his thing. Like, I actually wanted to take it, so I just allowed him. At first, I didn't want to say anything because there's been a situation where our very own got disqualified because of violent behavior. I was trying to push as much as possible to, not disappoint Ghana and do the same. And I understand where he was, because it gets to a point where you're pushed to that point where you want to react. And I apologize, first of all, to the people of Ghana for even getting that strike. I should have come out with a clean sheet. But he pushed me, and then I had to say something. And yeah, that's how it went. He got 2 more strikes and he went home. And I didn't know what was happening upstairs. You guys did, so I'm sure you were back home praying that, oh God, this guy should be next time when he came. I was downstairs and I didn't know what was going on upstairs. And maybe you guys deserve to go home because I was in danger, sort of, to say. And I don't know what else. I don't know too much where he comes from or what his background is. Maybe it's a reason for his behavior. And yes, I've apologized to him. I've apologized to him again for even in the least getting a strike now. Nando after the grand finale, after party, he came to me and said, you know what, Elikem, I'm sorry. When he was coming up to me, hey, I was on that. and Troy was there, so Troy was looking out for me too. We're just waiting for him to make a move, and maybe we would have put him on the floor and locked him up. So he came to me and said, Elikem, you know what, it's all my fault, I'm sorry, let's forget about it, and blah, blah, blah. I think a couple of minutes ago, he tried to steal a GoPro camera in the house. The housemates told me, so I was like, what's wrong with this guy, man? Now you're stealing a GoPro. So he apologized, and I just heard, Ghana man say, entire pass here. Because as much as it's okay to accept an apology, and someone who said before that he wants to kill you, it's not a joke. But I just pushed it on the side, I just let it go, sort of. So, and I didn't know, because I was in the house for 91 days, I didn't know what happened on the outside world, I didn't know what happened in the dining room, and how people conspire against West Africans and me trying to take me home. With O'Neill and Feza, O'Neill thought it was Ali John. Thought he knew. But he went out in front. It's a great feeling when you come out to find out that people actually conspired against you and you walked out one by one by one by one by one. So I wasn't even looking in the crowd, but after the whole thing, O'Neal, smiling, him and Feza, congratulations. And I don't know if it was just a front or they were really congratulating me. At that time, I didn't know anything, so I received them with open arms. And I was like, oh yeah, thanks man, what's up, how's it been? And it would be the same reaction because, I made it, you didn't. We should feel better. Now we did. I tried to ignore him and I the whole time because I knew how bitter they felt about me before they left. Him coming to me saying, I hate you, and I know went out, I feel like it's my fault and I could have stopped it. And whilst he was sitting right there, the guy was sitting there in a quiet style. I said, you have stopped it. So came to my room at Babylon. You guys know what Babylon is, right?
Hilton.
Right. He came to my room at Babylon with one of the girls. They were drunk or so. He was still doing his angels, trying to take it to that. He came in front of my room and he couldn't even get in. Because everyone was coming into my room. Everyone was coming in. There were drinks, there was people, there was fun. And everyone was coming in. He couldn't come in. So he guilty, go catch him. He couldn't enter the room. So, it's the way you behave. If your conscience tells you it's good, then it's good. But I'm sure the conscience is dealt with them. And me, I was clear, I was clean, man. I didn't have no hard feelings against anybody. I was just doing me and enjoying my time. And that's how it works. Just do you. Thank you. I entered the house. I was single and ready to mingle. Now, I didn't plan to actually meet someone and talk to someone and like someone and possibly fall in love with someone. But, I believe in that aspect of life, that love will come naturally. So meeting someone and trying to bond with the person and, talk with the person and take it one day at a time in the talking process and liking forms and this bonding, it's good like that. And when I entered, I thought first I was a nice girl, and I was wrong. I tried to talk to her, it didn't work. Apparently her excuse was I was younger than her and in her culture I wouldn't be accepted and blah blah blah. But then I got to find out later on that she actually liked me. She just wanted me to push harder. And I wasn't ready to sacrifice like that. I wasn't ready at all to sacrifice like that. But then on the other hand, I went to the Ruby house and I saw Bokele. Bokele was someone worth pushing for. So I didn't push Professor because in a way she wasn't kind of worth it. But Bokele was, and I pushed and things turned out good. So I didn't plan to go in and, and I don't have girls, so it's okay. Now I have a girl, so I'll manage.
So what's the current situation with you?
The current situation is she's in Zim. I'm in Ghana. I'm going to go to Zimbabwe pretty soon, just link up with her, see what up, see where she lives, how she do, Then she's going to come to Ghana and see where I live and how I do. And then it's one step at a time. It can only get better, And then we'll go on our trip and we enjoy it.
There are reports that it will not work because of the dynamics involved. The two of you are different personalities and all that. There are reports that probably the relationship will not work. You're able to hold her, as in maintain a relationship because the type of woman she is. Are you sure you're ready for this?
I don't know how much you follow the show, but Bokele's kind of man, in her own words, and I quote, is tall, dark, and muscular. And I believe I have some of these qualities. And in her talking to me, she ended up saying how much I was her kind of man, and I don't want to say too much. And my kind of woman is the Bokele type of woman, hard to get, fresh to death, lady in heels. So if she's my kind of woman and I'm her kind of man, what can go wrong? But in the same sense, yeah, anything can happen in terms of bad. So what happens is like every other normal relationship. You just take it one step at a time, day by day, see how it comes and go with the flow. But I believe it will work because so far, trust me, it's good. Thank you.
Mr. Loverboy, and have you seen a sex tape on?
Day or second day, I started talking to Bukelo. She told me about the sex tape. I mean, I think the mics went off or something. So I heard people didn't know I knew about the sex tape and how I was going to react. And she told me about it right from the get-go. She told me how it went. And I was like, spoke about it, gave her some advice, you know. It wasn't much of a big deal.
But have you seen the video?
Yes, I have. I've seen it. I don't want to say I like it, it's nice. I have seen the video, yes. To finals, with all those nominations, and I believe my story was sweet. Because looking back at previous housemates, getting nominated over and over and over and over again, the same people who nominated, the same people who saved you, and then you get saved by Africa, and then you win head of houses and you save yourself. It was a great feeling. It was nice.
And then the other feeling of being the first Ghanaian to have made it.
Yes,
what was running through your mind?
It was a great thing. Like, I knew at that moment that at least Ghana 4, you should be proud of me. If I've done some wrong, at least making it to that stage, because it wasn't easy, boss. It wasn't easy. Especially when you're getting nominated like that, frustration can come in. So it wasn't easy at all. So it is a great feeling. And I've been there, so I understand previous Ghanaians who've been through that stage. It's not easy at all. I just appreciate Africa for that save. That day I was up against Sue and Annabelle. Like, that was a great save. I heard it was Zimbabwe, Ghana,
Sierra Leone,
Nigeria, South Africa,
the rest
of Africa, 5. And I was tied with Sue also.
Yeah.
So it was percentage votes that got me to stay in the house, and it was a great feeling. And then the next week, I was like, hey, if I'm not head of house, I'm going now. So I had to push. And then I think I was head of house the next week, and then I lost the power of not by disqualification. And Big Brother gave me that disqualification when other people have done the same thing. But everything works together for good. See, that week I was even disqualified and I wasn't head of house. I didn't come up for eviction at all. And everything was head of house, she swap me, so I made it. And then the final week, I just guaranteed myself a spot in the top 5 by being head of house. And since then, I like it. It was nice.
Okay. There has been a lot of issues about
but it depends on where you come from, it depends on your culture, it depends on who you meet, and it's entirely up to you. Like, it wasn't something I was trying to do in there at all. I was trying to create a mark. I was trying to make a difference. I was trying to, make myself, first of all, proud, then family, then my country, and sell myself to Africa in a certain way. So it's a whole package, basically, So it wasn't something I was trying to do. Not like I'm one of the sexually active people, but
you didn't have a girlfriend anyway.
I met Bukele eventually. We're lying in the same bed. Maybe something could have happened. Maybe not. But it wasn't something I was trying to try. But it can get frustrating sometimes. I'll admit it's not easy. So when you're going, just prepare your mind for it.
But do you know of housemates who might have had sex in the house?
Yes, I saw physically Bolt and Betty, Bukele and I. We were kind of in the spots when things were happening. Angelo and Beverly, I saw too. We're not too sure because they came out to say they were not doing anything. And we were in the house, so we only heard noises. And first I think they did. Then I think those 3 couples only. I don't know about Clay and Akeem. And yeah, me and Bukele, we didn't do too. So. Otherwise we would have been 4. Her mind is awesome. I felt like she was sort of like a female version of me or so. Her versatility was crazy. And the first week we were doing the avatars, she just took a piece of fabric and did something quick with it around the doll she created. And that for me was amazing because, you know, in the field of my endeavor, my fashion field, it just seemed to me like she knew a lot and she was someone I could relate to, and I like smart people. So Fatima and I started from the bond, and you know, it's just one of those situations where the first couple of weeks being in the regular house, it's difficult to fall asleep, adjusting to the food, it's just adjusting to the environment. So you need someone as companionship, you know, to talk to. And I just dog Feza, so Fatima was that friend who I could talk to, and we just happened to, you know, sleep side by side each other. And she's a great person, I'm gonna admit, I'm not gonna lie. And we were like best of friends. I only came out to hear some other things, which was some way, but we're still good friends. I'm glad, you know, we spoke. She came to the room, spoke, the girl was there, things were cool, so everything is clear.
One more.
Pinpoint one particular experience, one particular situation that was like the greatest moment. The whole experience was great, especially making it to the finals. That was like the greatest for me. If that answers the question.
And what impact, looking back?